Hi, I'm Michael Kenyon and I'm the theatre programme organiser for Vocalise. Thank you for watching this video called My First Audio Description. We have 3 regular attendees of audio described theatre who are talking about the very first time they went to an audio described theatre performance. They talk directly to the camera, as I am now, and they introduce themselves at the beginning. So to keep things really simple, we haven't added in audio description.
My name's Toby Davey. I'm registered blind and this is my guide dog, Kerry.
Hi, my name is Kieran and I enjoy many challenges in life.
My name is John. I'm a lass in my mid-70s now. I suppose I'd describe myself as a Liverpool Welshman. My family come from Wales. I grew up in Liverpool, but I've lived in London for the last more than 40 years now.
I've always had keen interest in going to the theatre because my brother's a stage designer. He designed stage sets and costumes, so I'd always gone to see his performances and gone to other shows, and I was finding it difficult to really follow what was going on stage. I couldn't really see what was going on. I only had the dialogue of what the actors were saying, and it was getting more and more difficult. I was using telescopes and things like that to try and see what the set was like and stuff, but I really wasn't getting a good idea of what it was all about. And then a colleague of mine at the BBC had mentioned about audio description and had asked, had I ever been to one? And I said, no, I hadn't been to an audio described performance. So I went to my very first performance at the Donmar Warehouse. It was a play called Take Me Out, and it was an amazing experience. For the first time I was able to follow the play. I knew what the stage was like, I knew what the set was like, I knew what the characters looked like. Things were being described during the play, and I came out and booked up to go to the next audio described performance at the Donmar, and booked up to go to many other audio described performances at every theatre I could. Every weekend for about 2 or 3 years I was going to audio described performances, and it was great because it meant that I was able to access theatre in a way that I had never been able to before.
My first experience of audio description was to actually go out and test out a theatre. I'd been asked by somebody to go and try this different kind of performance called an audio described performance, and I decided to take my brother with me. My brother's not really the greatest theatre goer, but he wanted to come along with me. He said, okay, I'll try it. I was really quite nervous. I actually thought I'd stand out from everyone else because I was going to a different show and it was all just about me. And it wasn't. I actually felt that I was just like everyone else. It was the most exhilaratingly exciting and interesting experience I've ever had for a long, long time, and it always stays in my mind. And the why it stays in my mind is because it was so ordinary in lots of ways, but so very extraordinary. Because I got the information, I found out about lighting and how the stage was, and I found out what the set was like. The show was called Beckett, and it had Derek Jacobi in, and I was delighted because I had a touch tour beforehand and I got to meet him, and I got to feel the stage and go around and look at the props, and then afterwards I sat and I, in quotes, watched the show, and afterwards I had a major discussion with my brother about the lighting. It was so bizarre to have a discussion with another sighted person about lighting when I couldn't see the lighting. And that was the most exciting and most exhilarating thing. And since then I've never stopped going to them because actually I've got that one equality that I really thought to have in a hobby and an interest I really enjoy.
I think it was my first experience. I'm not absolutely sure, but it was certainly one of the most memorable experiences, which was that I went to the Almeida Theatre in North London, which happens to be quite close to where I live. And I saw a play by Edward Albee called The Goat, and this was must be about 12, 13 years ago now, I think. And I will never forget it because there was a scene in this, to be honest, I can't remember with all respect to Mr. Albee, the details of the play now. But I do remember one scene. There's a scene where somebody drags in, or drags onto the stage, a goat that sadly, if you're a goat lover, has had its throat cut. Now nobody says anything about this at all in dialogue, so there were no words that said someone has just come onto the stage, you know, enter stage left through the French windows, man pulling goat with slit throat. Nobody said that, so there was no verbal clue at all. But in fact, I heard it through the audio description, which I was listening to on my headphones, without understanding that somebody had come onto the stage with this particular poor animal in tow. The play, or the rest of the play, would have made absolutely no sense to me at all. It was an absolutely crucial moment, and clearly a very dramatic, theatrical moment.